And we are joined now by the captain of the team, Roman Josi, who joins us on the program on an off day. Roman, thank you so much for taking time and joining us today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yep, Roman, I want to start with this. So as a talk radio host who covers this team, the losing is not fun. You know, to watch games and then go on the air the next day and say, this wasn't right, that wasn't right, or that's not. I have to imagine that being the captain of the team and playing on this team, it is a night and day difference. What's the feeling like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, we just won 6 games in a row, compared to where this team was a month ago?
Yeah, it's a lot better for us too. I think just the whole atmosphere in the room, obviously. You know, it's sports. When you lose, it's not a good feeling. The next day you come to the rink, nobody's in a good mood, and when you win, it's a lot different. So it's definitely a lot more fun than it was in the beginning of the season.
Roman, if you had to say, you know, I know you've talked about work ethic, and Coach Hines has talked about commitment and mental fortitude and things of that magnitude. But if you had to kind of define what you mean by work ethic, when I hear you say that, I don't think you're talking about, you know, guys showed up today and said, let's just go through the motions. I mean, I know this group. I know you guys play hard. But what has contributed to that work ethic that has now turned into results? What do you mean by that?
Well, I think our team game, like the details we play with, I think there's a lot of things that in a game that you do well that you don't necessarily see. Obviously, you always see the goals and stuff, but it's the little things like the back checking, for example, or being quick to close on a guy. And those little things can add up to big things at the end of the game and add up to better results. And I just think our team game has been so much better. We're all working together. Every guy, the five guys who are out there are working together, and I think that's helping us a lot.
What was kind of the moment for you where you realized, you know what, we might be able to turn this thing around?
Well, I think on that road trip, obviously I got hurt in the first game, but after that, just watching the team, I remember we lost 2 games in Carolina, but we played really well the first game, lost that game in OT, and I was watching the game, and I thought we deserved to win. And even the second game, which we lost, I think it was 5-1, but if you look at the whole game, you saw kind of change within the team that we played really hard, and we kept doing it throughout the whole road trip. Every game you played, we didn't win every game, but I felt like the team was playing really hard, and I think it just kind of clicked in everybody's mind, and we knew how we had to play to be successful.
What have you learned as the captain of the group? When you became captain, the team was coming off of a Stanley Cup final appearance. And so you have the highs of going to winning the President's Trophy and intense playoff battles and winning a division the second year you're captain, the lows of struggling, changing a coach, getting knocked out in the play-in round last year in the bubble, things not going your way this year towards the bottom of the league, and now you guys are coming back up on it. What do you think you've learned about leading a group and what this group kind of is about?
Well, I think finding that balance. I think, that year we went to the Cup is a perfect example. I remember we started really bad that year, and I don't know how many games, 20, 30 games, we weren't in the playoffs. We didn't have a good year, and then all of a sudden we started playing better, and obviously went to the finals. And just over the years, the more you play, I think every team goes through phases where you don't play well, and I think you got to find that balance. You can't get too low, and obviously you want to keep them as short as possible. But it's always a fine line between trying to get out of it, being honest with yourself, but also not getting too down on yourself, and still like just believing in the team. And I think that balance is important every year because it's such a long year, and every team goes through it.
Roman, I asked Pekka when kind of the rumors started picking up around the league. I asked Pekka what he thought of those rumors. I asked Pekka about, hey, being a guy that is at the age that he's at, you know, I mean, you don't know how many more cracks he has at it. Ever since those rumors started circulating, he's been absolutely fantastic. And certainly he and UC part of that reason why. And when this team wins, those guys are usually a big reason why. How much of what you guys have done has been about him and about trying to kind of give him a shot get to another playoffs and maybe you guys get another crack at this?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like you said, those two guys have been unbelievable, and the way they're playing, they're helping us win games. They've been great, and obviously Pex is such a legend in Nashville, and he's such a big part of our team. I mean, everybody in our team looks up to him, and yeah, every time he plays, everybody wants to win for him. We definitely want to get a lot of wins for him because, like I said, he's an amazing person. He's done so much for the city, so much for the organization. So yeah, whenever he's playing, it's definitely. I mean, the team wants to win for him, and yeah, he's an amazing player. He's been really good for us, and he's a great teammate.
Preds captain Roman Josi is our guest. I literally listen when David Poyle does his weekly interview on our midday show. I listen to that like 2 or 3 times, Roman, like a Talmudic scholar trying to analyze and pick apart each and every word of what David is saying to see if there's like a little something I could say, buyers, sellers. You were asked last night about the core of the group and how important it is for you to keep that core together. But how much do you guys look at the play of what you've done and use that as kind of a message to David about how much you guys still believe in this group?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows the way we're playing. There's definitely a lot of belief in the group. I mean, obviously we didn't perform the way we wanted to early in the year, but the way we've been playing lately, it's everybody's stepping up. I mean, we've had a lot of injuries, and it's kind of that next man up mentality, and that's what I meant by playing that team game. It's almost like whoever comes in is playing that game, and it's what makes us successful. So. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love this core. We've been together for a long time, and I believe in this core, and it's a lot of fun right now the way we're playing.
How much credit do you give Coach Hines for this turnaround? How much do you look at? I mean, because you've been here obviously the whole time. I mean, you've been with 2 great coaches, we would all say, Barry Trotz, Peter Laviolette, and now Coach Hines is kind of starting to really turn things around here, and I think he's starting to get fans to believe in his message. He's been preaching the same message, Roman, since the day he got here, but kind of how much for you guys with the success do you look at what Coach Hines has done and the job he's done as a coach?
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, it wasn't an easy start, and obviously as a coach, when your team is not playing well, it's never easy, but you know what, he's always believed in us. He was always behind us, and we knew we always had his belief, and he just kept preaching his message, and he kept doing the same things. And I mean, our coach staff has done an amazing job of preparing us for games, looking at things that we can do better, and it's paying off right now. So he's been a huge part of that turnaround for sure.
As a captain of the team, Roman, how much have you looked at your leadership through this process? At the beginning of the season when things weren't going well, I mean, we all remember, I don't want to say like your rant at your press conference, but we could tell there was a lot of emotion after some of these games when you would meet with the media. And now starting to see that team game being played, how would you kind of evaluate the leadership angle that you've taken with this group? And maybe how has it been different than times in the past?
Yeah, it was definitely frustrating for a while because, like I said, you always go through up and downs, but obviously we had a down period that lasted a little longer, and it's easy to get frustrated. And I think we all did. I mean, I was frustrated, like we didn't play well, and but like I said before, you got to find that balance because even when we're frustrated, we still had a lot of belief in the room that we can turn it around. We knew we could, so. I think a little bit of frustration is good because everyone cares, everyone wants to win. But at the same time, we kept trying to figure out things how we can get out of this, trying to keep a positive mood in the locker room too, and yeah, just get out of it together as a group. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that.
Last night, physical game, Dallas comes out to play. You guys maybe don't match it at the beginning, but then really dominate towards the middle and end of the game. What's the feeling like in the locker room after Tolvanen puts that backhand in?
It was great. I mean, it felt like a playoff game. I think we knew they're going to come out hard. Every time we played Dallas, it was a big game. They're a physical team, and they're they're tough to play against. And like you said, I think the first half of the game, they were the better team. But I didn't think we played bad. But I just thought they had a push and were a little more physical. But we stuck to our game, and I think that's something we've learned over this year too. Like sometimes you don't play your best, but you just got to stick with it and keep playing your game. And I felt like we kind of wore them down towards the end of the second period, and then in the third period, I thought we had a really good period, a lot of chances, and obviously when Toby scored, it was a big goal for us and a big win.
How optimistic are you that this is not just beating up on, catching a hot streak, beating up on some teams like Detroit that might be a little down, but that this team is a legitimate contender?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just the way we're playing, with the consistency we're playing the last, I don't know how many, 10, 12 games, we've been playing the same way, and I think that's what we're kind of searching for in the beginning of the year, that identity, how to win, how to be successful, and I think we found that in the last couple of games, and every team is tough. Like, it doesn't matter who you play. Detroit is beating other teams. Chicago is beating other teams. So every game is tough, and you don't take any wins for granted. So they were big wins for us, and yeah, I think it's just us fighting that identity and knowing what makes us successful.
Roman Josi with us. What's more mentally taxing on you? Being the captain of a team that's added a bunch of new kids into the lineup, or being a dad that's added a new kid at the house?
I don't know. I mean, the dad part is a lot of fun, and same with the lineup. I mean, the young kids they've been great. I mean, they came in, they brought a lot of energy, and they've been playing unbelievable. So it's a lot of fun. I remember when I came into the league, it's really exciting, and there's a lot of games right now. There's big games, and they really stepped up. So yeah, they're both a lot of fun. Obviously, it's a lot of fun at home. Get a little less sleep, but it's been a blast at home.
Well, have you ever thought about that? Maybe the birth of your son has probably forced you a little less sleep. Maybe you and the team played a little bit better since that happened. Like maybe one thing led to another.
I don't know. I mean, it definitely gave me a boost for sure. I mean, it's such a cool moment when your son is born, and yeah, just going through it right now, it's unbelievable when you come home and you see your son. So it definitely gave me a big boost for sure.
Roman Josi is our guest. Last thing for you, Roman, before we get you out of here. Somebody who I trust a lot, who was a part of the team when you guys were really, really successful. I'm not going to tell you who, but I would say that you know this person really well too. And I asked him, I said, what kind of captain, what kind of leader is Roman? And he said to me that Roman's the kind of guy who's not going to go scream at a bunch of players or, after a loss, throw a bunch of sticks or go crazy, but that when something needs to be said, he's willing to say it. When a meeting is needed to be had, he's willing to have it. When you look at your role in that dressing room, how do you feel when somebody that used to be a part of that says Roman is what you want in a captain because he's willing to do what it takes? How important is that to you?
Yeah, I mean, that means a lot for sure. I think obviously I'm still learning as a captain, and I think over the years I've been the captain of this team now, there's so many learning curves, and he's right. I'm not going to scream at guys after every game, but I think I've been getting more comfortable at saying things when things need to be said. But I think as a captain, for me personally, it's a fine line between saying something after every game or picking the right spots, and I think you just kind of gotta go with your gut feeling. But I mean, I've had some amazing captains here that I played for, so there's a lot I learned from those guys. But like I said, I'm still learning. Every year is a different challenge, but it's been a lot of fun being the captain of this team for sure. Roman
Josi, as always. Roman, thank you so much for joining us. I know that. Look, I know you're busy both on the ice and off the ice, so appreciate your time. And best of luck tomorrow against Dallas, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep, Roman Josi, Predators captain.